Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-July 2023 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the Bridging the Gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past, present, and future energies between you and the main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight, and that's where the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the card on the left as the energy and the card on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Four of Coins. So this is a Capricorn energy here, and it could just be saying that in the past you might have really just had a heavy focus toward your career goals. But I feel like at the same time, you might have even had some success with that. But if we look, there's that figure off in the background there. It looks like they're not physically in the room with this person, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might have really decided, hey, I want to put more energy toward my career. But you might have still found yourself thinking about this person often. Right? Past energy on their side, we have the Lovers. So this is actually the major arcana card for Gemini. So yeah, to me this says that they really felt like this was a strong romantic connection, right? They might have envisioned you guys going a distance around the connection. Maybe the two of you lifted a distance with each other from each other too, so maybe that was part of the issue with the connection. But yeah, it looks like this person definitely saw this as the potential to go the distance. All right, present energy on your side, we have Fortune. So this is the equivalent to the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter energy. And to see this here, I feel like this is saying a couple of things. For some of you, this could just be saying that after giving that focus to your career or creative goals, right, I feel like you've had a lot of success there. But yet and still, we still see a figure that looks like they're not physically in the room with her, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're still putting your focus there, probably have elevated yourself in some way, but you still find yourself thinking about this person often, right? So, and for some of you, it could even just be saying that maybe you get a lot of signs and synchronicities pointing you back toward this person, but for whatever reason, you're not really acting on them just yet. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Five of Swords. So it's interesting how we look at the structure here. Clearly, it's not exactly the same as the one in the Lovers, but it looks similar, right? So I feel like this could just be saying that maybe this person could be reminiscing around the times that the two of you had together. And I feel like with those swords there in the background, could be almost like a coulda, shoulda, woulda type thing, right? Where maybe they didn't express to you their level of feelings. So they might just feel like, okay, having some regrets around the way things went, right? So let's say if you did move away, for example, for your career, or if you took a job that required you to travel a lot, right? Maybe this person didn't necessarily express that, hey, I'd actually really like it if we could stay in the same place, things along those lines there. So this person could just be having some regrets around the way things went in the past. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Two of Staves. So this is an Aries energy here, and it could just be saying that you guys, excuse me, are looking forward to doing more traveling, possibly starting a new venture. For some of you, this could just be saying that maybe you're hoping for a fresh start with this person, but it seems a little less likely just given the overall theme that I've seen to this point. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Two of Swords. So Libra energy here, and I feel like this is saying, well, for one, it's the exact opposite of the Two of Wands energy on your side, but I feel like more than anything, this is pointing to them still feeling like a heartbreak, right? So to me, this artwork almost recalls like the traditional Three of Swords energy, right? But usually the Two of Swords is someone indecisive, unable to decide on a situation. So to me, it's like a combination of those two things where I feel like they feel the heartbreak from the separation from you, but they're not necessarily sure if they should come forward and communicate that. So yeah, it definitely seems like the two of you had some kind of a split at some point, and for whatever reason, this person might have held back around how they were feeling, and now they're maybe feeling like it could be just too late at this point, right? Or Or maybe they're really convinced that, oh, well, clearly Gemini wanted to focus on their career, on their creative ventures, whatever the case may be. And they might think that it's not even worth attempting to reconnect with you, so it could just be one of those things there. And to be fair, it definitely looks like that was where you put your focus for quite some time. But now, from the looks of it, it's like even as you were focusing on those things and having success with them as well, it seemed like you often found yourself thinking about this person. So that's what I see with that. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Four of Cups. So this is Cancer energy here, and it usually points to a certain level of disappointment with what's being offered too. So let's say, like I said, maybe you moved away from the area where this person was, where the two of you might have initially been together. And now in the new area where you're at, maybe you're feeling like, okay, or you might be getting romantic offers, but they're not necessarily fulfilling, right? And you might still find yourself thinking about this person. And like I said, it looks like there's been material success in whatever things you've taken on, but it's just like, okay, but it seems like you're still lacking that emotional connection. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is a Pisces energy here, and usually this points to an energy of leaving something behind for more fulfillment. But here, this almost reminds me of a reminiscing type of energy too, because it looks like almost reminds you of like a Christmas caroling type of dynamic. So this person could just be thinking back on those times, and now at the same time, obviously, if you're not present, then yeah, obviously they would probably want more than what they're getting currently from the connection, right? So for some of you, maybe this is them deciding if they want to just seek another connection elsewhere and just, you know, write this connection off as okay, it's never going to happen between the two of us. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a mixture of the two. And as a whole, a lot of the readings this month have been coming out this way where it feels like the Venus retrograde energy is definitely going to be playing a role over the next month or so with people just thinking of the past, previous connections, right? Thinking about maybe regrets around the way things were handled. But in this particular situation, I'm not sure if there's going to be any actual communication around those regrets. It just looks like a lot of feeling those things, but maybe not communicating them, which is interesting because the Venus retrograde is going to be in your third house communication. So you would think that would bring some of that stuff out through communication as well, but I'm not quite sure I see it yet in our spread. We'll see what the oracle cards add to the mix. All right, so first we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love Oracle cards deck here. Just looking for a single card here. All right, got one there. And next we'll see what we get from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation, we're just going to pull one card here as well, and then we'll read both those messages and wrap the reading up with those. All right, and got one there. So first we'll see what we got from the Messages of Love Oracle cards. All right, we have obstacles. It says unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. So yeah, interesting. Someone else got this card this month as well. But unhealed wounds, I mean, at the very least, like I said, it looks like this person might have some regrets around maybe they didn't communicate the level of feelings that they had back in the past. And then on your end, it looks like you might have some regrets on, okay, yeah, I really want to focus on these things. And like I said, it looks like you've achieved those goals and they've been successful for you, but it still seems like there's a bit of lack as far as you're still thinking about this person. Um, So maybe you're looking back on, could I have possibly incorporated the two, right? Did it have to be all or nothing with one of these things? But that could be how it's playing out in the cards on this side, where, like I said, on the other side, it seems like it's more of just regrets around maybe not communicating, which in a way you kind of use the same thing, right? Because if you were holding back those feelings and then they were also holding back their feelings in a certain way, then you could see how they could lead to that type of disconnect. All right. And from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Fork in the Road. There's the artwork. And the number is 13. See what this has to say. All right, the relationship message says you've reached a moment of truth in the evolution of your relationship. Which will you choose? To open up to the possibility of love or to remain isolated? To go deeper and commit to mutual passion or to walk away? This is a time to take responsibility for your truest desire and follow it. Be honest with yourself about what you're willing to do, invest, and give. Then choose. You cannot make a wrong choice. If you move forward with the relationship, know that it will be based in truth and authenticity. You have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, or ending things because you're afraid of the intensity of genuine connection. All roads lead to the lessons you must learn in your relationships. Regardless of the decision you make, it will place you on the path to a truer experience of the heart. So yeah, that sentence that stuck out to me the most was when it talked about you have made a conscious decision rather than simply hanging on because you don't want to be alone, right? That stuck out to me because let's say if that was maybe your thought in the past, like, oh, well, I really have this goal I want to pursue, but if I stay in this connection, would it be just because I'm afraid of being alone, right? So at the very least, you tested that theory out, right? You were able to leave the connection, do what you had to do, have some success around that, right? So it could just be saying, well, now you know that you've been there, done that, right? You know that you're fine to function without the relationship. So that fear is moved out of the way, right? So it could just be one of those things where maybe this was a necessary growth cycle. And then for this person, a similar theme there too, as far as, okay, maybe they learned that, hey, maybe I should express how I'm feeling in this situation. But looks like you guys might have just needed to go through that growth cycle. And like it says, it looks like there is the potential there for you to come back together if you'd like. Or like we said, it looks like you guys might move your separate ways if no one does communicate around the situation. But looks like the door is open either way, which would explain the fork in the road dynamic, right? It could go either way there. But hopefully that resonated with you guys. Wrap up there, and we'll see you next month. All right, bye.